Okay, well, welcome back. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk more about lines, and more specifically, given the equation, how to find the slope and y-intercept of the line. And what we have right here is a general form, and I think that's the toughest, because if you were to find the slope and y-intercept, there's some keys and some things you just should know. First off, when you find the equation, or all right, to find the slope and y-intercept, the key thing is I would probably find the slope first. All right, find the slope first. Now to find the slope first, one of the easiest ways to do it is to put it into point slope form or slope intercept form. And what that means is if you want to put it in slope intercept form, given the equation. All right, slope intercept form. That to be the easiest. Slope intercept form is basically you're solving for y. Solve for y. All right, so we're going to solve for y because that is the form that we have. So y equals mx plus b. All right, that's our slope. All right, and this is our y-intercept. So this would be our slope. All right, and I'll say, let's change the color and I'll get to a highlighter here. Here is our slope. I'll just underline those two. And this is going to be our y-intercept. Y-intercept b is going to be a constant at the end. All right, so without further ado, let's do this. All right, so get my pen out. So to do that, we're going to, first off, I'm going to subtract the 3x to both sides. So 3x to both sides. So what we have then is 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 4 because we want to get y by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. Both sides by 4. Now, what we have here, now be very careful, we're going to divide 4 into negative 3. So we have negative 3x divided by 4. We are then going to have and divide the 4 into the 12 because we have to divide this into every single one of the terms. So we have to distribute it through to each one of these terms. That's one of the key things that a lot of students will forget. Their operations, order operations, and also the operation rules of distributing. All right, because you're multiplying by 1/4, you have to distribute to negative 3x and to 12. So 4 divided by 12 is going to equal 3. All right, so here's your slope intercept form. Now from here, we can identify what our slope is. Now our slope is always, in slope intercept form, the value next to x. It's the coefficient next to x. So the slope, okay, is the coefficient next to a singular x, x to the first power, all right? So that's what we have. So this is a linear function because it's x to the first power. You don't have a slope when you have a quadratic and so on and so forth. But because this is x to the first, it's what we refer to as a linear equation. Okay, you have a binomial, 2 terms. Okay, so what we have here is our slope is the coefficient of x. All right, coefficient of x when it is in slope intercept form. All right, so make sure you have it in slope intercept form. Write that down if you're taking notes. Okay, so what is our slope? Well, our slope in this case is going to be negative 3/4. Negative 3/4. So that's our rise over run. So at any point on this graph, this is rising up 3 and right to the left 4. Okay, so any point on this graph, that's what we have. Now, the next thing is we want to find our y-intercept. Now, the y-intercept, now a lot of students can look at this, and I can look at this also, and trying to figure this out, and we can see that, okay, our y-intercept should be 3. All right, so the y-intercept, I just want you to know, is a point. The y-intercept is a point. It's a point on the graph. The slope is a coefficient, all right, and the y-intercept is a point in the graph. What is that point? Well, the point is, well, in order to find the y-intercept, if you watch my other tutorial, is that y-intercept is always located at when x equals 0. When x equals 0. So to do this, we can find this out by actually plugging in 0 in for x and then solving for y. Well, when you do that, all right, so I'm just going to do that. Plug 0 in for x, so we have 0 plus 3 equals y. All right, so we're finding a point. How do you find a point? A point has an x and a y value. X and y value. So how do you find the x and y values? You use plug in values. Plug in values. That's how equations work. In this case, the y-intercept has a value at x of always 0. All right, that's important information to know. The x value of a y-intercept is always 0. So you can find any y-intercept by plugging 0 into any equation that you have. All right, whether linear, quadratic, or whatnot. So we plug in 0 here, we get 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So we have then y equals 3. So yeah, our y-intercept is 3. So we have a slope of -3/4 and a y-intercept of 3. So if we were to graph this, we can graph this pretty nicely. Because what do you need to graph or a radian equation of a line? Well, if you heard my class tutorials, you always need a slope and a point. A slope and a point. So we have our point, 0, 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do our slope. So here's our 1 point. Let me get a different color here. Make it black. All right. And now we're going to go to our slope. So you can either put this negative on top or bottom. But only going to go on top or bottom. So I'm going to go make it put in the bottom. So I'm going to go rise of a run. So rising 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. And we're going to do running to the left 4. Because if it's left is going to be negative. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have a point right here. Another point that we need. Because in order to create the actual line, you need 2 points. So this would be a point of 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 6. And you can see that I would have a slope of, all right, -3, 4. If you wanted to go the other way, you could also go the other way, down, because -3 on the rise would be down, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then over to the right 4, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we could have it like that too. And in any case, draw your line best you can. 9 is the best. All right, but what we have is, yeah, here's our equation that we just drew. All right, and we found our choosing the slopes and y-intercept. Well, let's try one more. All right, let's find the slope and y-intercept. So, you recall, the last one we had to solve for y. Solve for y. So to find the slope and y-intercept given in general form, this is general form. You got to put this in slope-intercept form. So you have to solve for y if it's not already solved. Okay, so we have right here y divided by 4. I'm going to write all these steps. So we get -x/3 plus 1. Now we have to get this 4. This is the 4, not the y. We have to get this 4 out of here. So how do you get the 4 out of the denominator? Well, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which would be multiplied by 4. We're going to multiply this entire section over here by 4 as well. This and this will cancel out. We have y equals, distributed through, -4x/, this is very similar to the last one. All right, plus 4. All right. Now, where's our slope and where is our y-intercept? Well, given slope-intercept form, our slope, if you recall what I said before, our slope is always the coefficient next to x. So in this case, our slope should equal -3, -4/3. That's our slope. Our y-intercept, remember, is a point. It's a point. Right? Remember, it's the point. That is a key thing. A lot of students forget that. It's a point. Y-intercept is a point. What is our point? Well, our point is, well, our x is always 0. Y-intercept x is always 0. Always 0. That's just what it is. All right? So we plug in 0 in here. And what do you have? -4/3 times 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. So our y is 4. So yeah, it's our b. All right? That's our slope. It's our b, our y-intercept. And there we have it. We can graph this if we wish. And I wish. So we'll go 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bing. And then we'll rise -4. It doesn't matter what you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And running 3. 1, 2, 3. The slope is going down. So actually, I create my x-intercept. This is what's known as x-intercept because we have a point of 3, 0. This is the x-intercept. Here's my y-intercept. 0, 4. Connect these 2 dots. Go down right there. There we have it. Now we have the equation of a line. So once again, what do you need to find the equation of a line? You need a slope and a point. Find the slope, write it into slope-intercept form, solve for y, and you have your answer. All right. Pretty easy. So I hope this helps you out. on some other things and hopefully understanding a little bit more of how to find and use the equation of variance. Slopes and points. That's all it is. All right. Good luck and God bless.